For a brighter career, let Hallmark Institute of Professionals be your partner. Looking to start or advance your career? We offer a wide range of courses, including languages, ICT and computer-based short courses, business courses, CASNEP courses, HR courses, pension management courses, among other courses. We also offer career guidance, life skills training, as well as corporate trainings. For more information, visit www.hallmark.or.ke or call 0708 355 941. Email us at enquiries@hallmark.or.ke. We are located in Nairobi, Harambee Avenue, Agriculture House, 3rd floor.
So he would come with some yogurt, he'd come with biscuits, he'd come with
sometimes
so
I carry my guitar.
Yeah, and then he would come with his guitar and sing. Now, along the way is when I started sensing, hey, this one is not
a good man.
Yeah, not only that, but this guy is not singing for God.
What are you talking about? I think I will change the budget.
Oh.
The budget, at some point I felt we spent a lot, and that money would have helped us elsewhere.
And that, I think, was one of the hardest decisions we ever had to make, myself and him, and especially my husband. So we called our best couple, and we said the way it looks, and for the sake of Maria, especially not to lose milk, I have to go back to my parents.
Who?
Me.
Because the parents were here.
Our eyes are on you.
Yes.
It was
because
tough.
the parents, it was extremely difficult, because now there's no house help. There are 2 babies. There's no money.
Yes.
And you're barely surviving. So we said we have to adjust further. So this adjusting further, while we were making the decisions, we were looking at do we go to my mom's place, which is very far because she still has to go to work.
Oh, yeah.
Or go to her mom's place.
Yeah. Wait, you're also going?
No.
No.
Oh, you're the only one going.
Yeah. I mean, give it to him. He would come over the weekends and see the babies. He would just sneak, because you see, as you said, society. Even my parents, they're still society. So he can't show up during the week when they're there. He would time for them when they've gone to church, or when he's, when they're not around, where they, and then he would come and take Gemma, take her out, maybe for swimming.
He would buy minutes, I would buy minutes, and then that was
It was like we're back to dating.
It was like we're back to dating.
Which many couples need to do.
Yeah.
Hi guys, and welcome back. This is the Rodah Show, a space where we talk everything marriage and relationships God's way, and I'm really excited because of your support. Thank you so much for watching these videos, sharing, talking to me on my WhatsApp number, sending MPESA, and today we're going to send more. We have an apostle. Thank you so much for the support. So today I'm starting with 2 things. First, to appreciate JK Studios for the amazing job. Thank you for recording this. So if you're looking for a photographer, you're planning for a wedding, a birthday, any event that needs photography or videography, JK Studios is your plug. And then there's another story. A lady called me, I think 2 months ago, and she told me, I have a gift for you. And nowadays I really manage my expectations, especially as far as gifts are concerned, because some of you have promised me things and disappeared. Then actually she went quiet. So last week she texted me and told me, your gift is ready. I'm like, oh, she was serious. So she told me, your gift is ready. And then she asked where I stay, and then she delivered. Guess what? Guess what she got me? She got me this bag. So I'm going to be walking in town for no reason. And then inside the bag, there is a Actually, there's a t-shirt that I'm putting on. Then there is a notebook. Guys, there's a notebook for Rodah Kidula show. 2025, I'm going to plan things here. And there was something else. I think they are notepads with love. Guys, hey. Gift me, I'll come and announce. Then she said, this one is for my next guest. And you guys happen to be my next guest. I've not even opened. Because she said, the next guest that you guys have, give them that.
Wow, this is great. Thank you so much.
You want to open?
Yeah.
Even me, I want to see. Yeah, she also gave me this t-shirt I'm putting on today. And as they open, let me tell you about her. On Instagram, she is found_art.ke. Winnie Kaloki. Winnie, thank you so much for this. I know you didn't want even me to do all this. And yeah, but I had to. So found_art.ke. And she does a merchandise based on scripture and faith. Her vision or her goal is to evangelize, enlist, and encourage. So if you want to gift someone this Christmas season, you want to gift me something else, please check her out. Her number is also on the screen. Now we look at the gift. We move her. Oh, wow. This is beautiful.
Beautiful.
And the packaging is, we are awesome. Better together. It's written, we are better together. So please go fight about the mug.
Okay. You know who the winner is.
We already know. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to place this here. Yeah. And you will remember to carry after, because I'm also impressed by the gift. So thank you so much, Winnie. I really appreciate that. Let me introduce today's guests. It's a married couple, of course. Been married for almost 5 years. Fun fact, we used to work together, plus my husband. The four of us used to work together for the same ministry, for the same organization. And as we record this, there's only one woman standing. My husband left, I left. Her husband left, and now she's the only woman standing. Yeah. More grace to you.
Amen.
More grace to you. So what we do here is we introduce each other. Please introduce your husband to us.
Okay.
Yes.
So my husband of very many years, his name is Tony Omondi, an apostle of the gospel, wonderful man of God, a man that stands for the word of God, a loving husband, I would say, a very kind man to me and to our children. Besides that, he's also a worship minister, a powerful, actually my favorite worship minister.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, so he is really anointed in worship and also in leading people to the presence of God. Amen. And also, professionally speaking, he's a communications specialist. He's really done so well. I've seen him grow in communications, and so he serves in the company he works for. He's the communications coordinator. So he's really gifted, and also my editor. He edits my books. So he's everything. So this man, I protect him at all costs because he's carrying me as well. So an amazing man. That's who he is, and a father of 2 girls.
Yeah,
surrounded by women. This one, yes, has a sister and now has 2 girls and has me and the mother. So it's just he's a loved man.
More grace.
Yes,
more grace to me.
To you.
Yeah.
His personality.
Fun fact: he does not believe in those personality things. This one is very special, but because I know the personalities, he's highly choleric. And sanguine.
Is he a sanguine?
He is.
No.
He talks a lot.
You're talkative.
He talks a lot.
You're loud.
He's really loud.
You make friends easily.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
that's right.
He jokes a lot, and he's a very funny person. And sometimes he brings the jokes when they're not needed. But like we're in a serious meeting as a family, he brings the humor, the jokes. So he's also very funny, and I'll give you a story about it later on. Yeah.
Introduce your wife to us.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. You know where we come from. The intro has to
be bulky.
Fit a book.
Yes.
And add some titles there.
She has tried.
Why have you not said that I have a degree and I have and a master's?
Ongoing
Yeah,
student.
because where we come from, that is how we, anyway. So, yeah, this is my wife, my dear wife that I love her so much. Her name is Maria Makau Nduko. Nduko is also her middle name that people don't know.
Now we know.
She told me that once she gets her doctorate, she will write there Dr. Nduko. She'll be calling herself Dr. Nduko.
Yeah.
And
So-
we are supposed to talk about your name, your branding. Now I hear Dr.
Exactly. So, yeah, she's an amazing person. She's a journalist, for those who know her. She's a radio presenter. She's done broadcast journalism from the University of Nairobi. She's a preacher of the gospel,
Yes.
though she's not an ordained pastor, but this is something that she's looking forward to maybe in the future, because I know her direction is mostly ministry. She's a very prayerful woman. For those who listen to her every morning on Hope FM from 4 a.m. To 6 a.m., she's very prayerful. And she does not only pray on radio, she also prays in the house.
It's very important.
Yes, yes. So,
Very important.
so a supportive woman and a prayerful woman, that is everything a man would want.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she's also a speaker. She speaks to young people, and she inspires young generation to pursue the Lord. She's been doing a program on freedom, and just liberating people who are caught up in addictions and so many other things. And so she's also an author. For those who've read her book called Jehovah Mekadishkem.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Jehovah Mekadishkem is her first book that she authored. And right now she's also authoring another one. Still waiting to see it come out in January. And we are blessing the Lord for everything that has been happening. So she's so many things in the house. I don't know about the personalities, but she's just a very great person to be with, interesting. So she's also funny. She makes jokes in the house.
She's sarcastic.
Sarcastic.
You're more sarcastic than funny. Or the side of her that I know.
Yeah. I think you're also, is it choleric? The one that talks much?
Sanguine.
Sanguine.
Oh my.
Sanguine. Between you and I, who talks more?
The most.
I think you're the one that
We
talks
still
most.
are. We will know by the end of this.
Yeah,
I will tell you.
Yeah, you know, we are media guys, and
Yes.
we talk a lot, but I think she talks more than me. But we will see.
We will see
by
when
the end
we
of the
get
show, we
there.
will tell.
Is she also the mother of those two girls?
Yeah, she's the mother.
Oh,
She's
it's
the
good
mother
to
of
know.
the two girls. My girls, I know.
So you have two.
We have 2 girls now.
You still want 5.
Yes, we still want 5.
Who is our God?
We still want 5.
The template is the same. The template that you used for 1 and 2 is the same.
It's the same.
So basically, that's who my wife is.
Yeah, that's Maria.
Yes.
And yes, we used to work together.
Yeah.
Then these two used to do a show. Or you'll tell us the story. Supposed to serve God, but they decided to fall in love and get married. And follow my example.
Follow your very
Okay. I kind of know who saw who first, but I'm not sure. Did you two meet at Hope FM?
Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we did.
So who saw who first?
She found me there. I was working there at the moment. By the time she was joining,
Yeah.
I was working there. So I remember this whole story happened in the newsroom.
But
No,
you
I
said-
want the first day you saw her.
Oh, the first day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so what happened is I came in. Now this might be a bit exclusive for people who know Hope FM. So
Yeah.
I was hired at the same time with Patroba.
Oh, yeah.
So when we came to the newsroom, we were introduced to Tony because we came in the afternoon and he was doing the news. So we came and found him. Never forget, he had a red shirt.
Okay.
And so we came and found him. And so Patroba kept on asking questions because Grace, our supervisor then, said, ask questions.
Yes.
So
They
I
were,
was
they were
there.
actually handed over to me
Yeah.
for orientation.
Yes.
So I was just there. I didn't feel the need to ask anything because I've been through school. I know what is required of me. This is not my first job. So Patroba went on and on asking Tony questions, but he was graceful. He answered everything. I think I only asked one question, which I can't remember. So that was our official meeting.
First meeting.
Yes.
And then what I remember is that you were doing, at some point, you started doing a show together.
Yes.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yes. But that is later. Before that, we worked together in the newsroom before we were given a show. So at that time, while I was doing news in the afternoon, I was in charge of the afternoon desk at that time when she came. And so she worked as a reporter. So I used to give them assignments together with Patroba and the rest of the people that were there in the newsroom to go and cover the different events.
Yes.
So I remember it was very hard working with her. It was extremely hard, extremely tough working. I don't know why.
No,
but she was difficult to work with.
Wow.
Yes,
it
was him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was difficult because I remember one time I gave her an assignment. I told her, go and cover a certain event tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then she said, I don't feel like going out to cover this event. Yes, I feel like I should do this and this and this and this. And then I told her, anyway, I was not her supervisor.
Oh.
Yes, I was not her. I was just in charge of the desk at that point because the person who was in charge had gone for leave.
Yeah.
So we disagreed a bit, and then I went and reported her to
the supervisor. So what happened is, well, let me just take my mind back in time, rewinding. So what happened is that I was doing reporting,
yes,
but the person that I was also brought in to sit in for was meant to go for leave. So automatically that meant, because he's the one that we found there, he was now in charge.
Yes.
So he was sending us for assignments. Now, I did not like the place where he assigned me to go. So just trying to put my, my
young girl, you've just been employed and given an instruction. You are a reporter.
Yeah.
When you are told to go for a political meeting, you go.
Okay, so
she knew she was coming in as a presenter to do a show. That is what she was looking forward to.
And that's what was in my title as well.
That was,
that the whole confusion, I think at that point, I'm just thinking,
hear you now.
Okay, what really are we doing? So anyway, he reported me to the supervisor, and first of all, I'm here thinking, I just got this job. You already want a memo on me.
Yes.
Like, it's barely a month or two. So from the day he reported me, I knew, you're looking for trouble. You're looking for drama.
Yeah.
Then let's play the game.
Oh.
Yeah, so he would assign me, and I would still go.
Yes,
but then we wouldn't
concerning
talk.
that particular story, she was the supervisor came and told her to go, so she got mad. So she went anyway. She went and covered the story and came back and did the report. But now she got mad.
You see the choleric.
Like she could not even talk to me. She just came. She would come sit on her computer and then just do her work and go home. And then I was like, I've never disagreed with anyone on these levels.
Yeah.
So I started asking myself, Kwani, what is happening? And then I decided to go and talk to her. To just try and ease things out.
Before he did talk to me, we were told. Before he talked to me, we were told we're going to do the Saturday program together.
Oh yeah. That's
so when the supervisor called us, she said, you just have to find a way to agree and work together. So this was not a conversation, this was not a request, it was, you guys have been assigned and you have to work together. So at this point, we're not in very good talking terms. So we're only talking business, like work related. So even when we're going to do our demos, like the voice demos, we're doing them from a place of, it's very technical.
Oh yeah.
Because we are supposed to, at some point, he actually wanted to go, and he actually did go tell the supervisor that, can you allow Maria to do the Saturday program on her own?
Yes.
And she said, no. You have to find a way. Together. So I think at that point is when the Christianity of my husband, not in him, kicked in, and he said, you know what, why are we disagreeing, why are we having all this issues when we are born again? So he went, I think, prayed about it and spoke to God, and God gave him a scripture that was going to guide us. And so he called me to the boardroom and said, we need to agree. We need to find a way to move forward so that we can be able to deliver on our assignments. So.
Yes. So I prayed about it, and I really asked God am I really in the right place? Because I didn't mean to hurt her the way I did. Actually, I felt so bad. I didn't mean to hurt her. And so God gave me a scripture. At that time, Grace was telling us, Grace was the supervisor, Grace was telling us, you have to find a way to work together. So me, I told Grace in the office, by the way, Grace, let me just tell you the truth, I cannot work with her. Yes, the supervisor. I will not do that show. Please just let her have the show, because me, I'm already doing news. So let her just do the show. And she said, no, you have to work together. Because yes, you have to come up with a name, you have to agree, you have to do all these things. So I said, okay, let me go and pray. So I went and prayed, and then I came back to her. So I called her to the boardroom, and then I asked her a few questions, and then I gave her that scripture. I remember the scripture that when Herod wanted to kill Jesus when he was born. So I told her, you never know what is happening. You never know why we're disagreeing, and you never know why we're supposed to work together. So sometimes when a vision is small, the enemy takes advantage and can kill it at that level if you are not very careful. So let's be very careful that the enemy might be trying to destroy something that is supposed to happen. So we agreed on that.
Wow.
Yes. We agreed, and then we forgave each other.
We prayed and we
forgave each other, and then we became friends.
And you started doing the show together, Saturday night.
Saturday night.
7 to 10.
Yes.
Oh, that was 4 hours.
Actually, the breakthrough came. The breakthrough with her came when I discovered that I knew her mother from a very long time ago.
Oh,
actually.
Yes. And her mother is called Rodah.
Yes.
Her mother is called Rodah, Apostle Rodah.
Apostle
So
Rodah.
after we're done agreeing, we prayed together, and then we said, okay, let's forge forward. Of course, because I'm a believer, when someone comes at you in a good way, you're like, okay, why the qualms? So we started praying, we started working together now in a coordinated manner. So one of the days he came in through his Facebook and looks at me and says, do you know Rodah? And of course, it's not Rodah Kidula. I said, Rodah who? Said, Rodah Makau.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like,
That's
don't you even know Maria Makau, you know?
Yeah.
So I said, that's my mom. And he said, oh. And I said, how do you know her? And then he said to me, long story. Said, no, that's my mother. You have to tell me
the story.
You have to tell me the story.
Yeah.
So if I fast forward, I find out that they ministered together at some point when my mom had gone to minister in their church, a bit in their evangelism kinds of things. So from the minute actually he mentioned my mom, I was like, you've ministered with my mom, and you know, I consider my mom to be a powerful woman. So I was like, who are you? But anyway, I was like, okay, if you know my mom, then we're good. So I think him saying that was like, okay, even ground. So we became very good friends from that point. Yeah.
So when did the friendship grow into relationship?
You know.
And why didn't we know?
Good point.
Yeah, there are some things you have to hide until the right time.
Until the right time.
Yeah.
But at that time, it was legal to date. Was it?
Was it? No.
We were not sure.
Because my time, it wasn't legal to date a colleague.
We were actually not sure.
You were not sure?
Yes, we were not sure. So we decided to hide it until we were sure.
Okay.
Yes. So our friendship grew rapidly, actually, in the newsroom after that story, after talking about her mom and everything. So we used to even walk to town together after work and everything. I would take her to the bus, and then she would go home. And then we would continue talking. And so we just became friends, very good friends. I would share a lot of things, a lot of stories. She will share her life stories and everything. So at that point, we were not even thinking about a relationship or whether we'll get married or anything. For me, it did not even cross my mind. Actually, she wasn't my type at that point. I wasn't even considering her. Yeah. I wasn't even, as in my mind was elsewhere.
Yeah.
You'll send us photos.
I
have Tony's photos.
I was actually dealing with a very serious breakup.
He was actually dealing with a breakup. And,
and it was very bad.
We were very good friends to the place that he would tell me his intentions to other women.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like he was Tony was so ready for marriage. And I wasn't. And I used to actually ask him, hey, unakimbia hivyo kwa nini? Like, you know, because we got into that into that level of friendship where I would know he's ready and I wasn't. So I used to tell him, me, I'm this age. Oh, by the fun fact, Tony is younger than me.
Really?
That's true.
Imagine if you never say it. That's why I always say age is just a number. Because if you never Age is just a factor, not a number.
It's just a factor.
Don't get a 60-year-old and you're 18 and you say Rodah said.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
No. How young? A year?
Is it 2?
A month?
I think 2 years.
2 years younger.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
2 years.
So I would actually tell him, I'm this age.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not in a rush. You're this age. Why are you in a rush? Like, what's the rush? And he was so ready. And he kept on telling me, he's really principled. He kept on telling me, I have decided, even when I was speaking to my pastor, I'm going to marry while young. I want to develop a family while young. Like everything for him, he wants to do it while he's still young. And so I would just be amazed. But in my head, I was like, I used to tell him if the day I'll hit 35 past is when I'll start questioning God. Oh, where is this man? But I was like, no. So he would come with some girls' names and he tell me this is the character. And of course, all of them are born again. So he would ask me for my opinion. Yeah. And I was never in the list. And so he was also dealing with the breakup. So even when he wanted to go and meet with the girl who was supposed to finalize things, he told me about it. I prayed for him, prayed with him, and said, may God go and guide you. If it's the one, may you go and rekindle things. If she's not the one, may it end. And he actually went and they ended things. But it still wasn't an issue for me. So we were really good friends who would share everything. And so he would come to the show every Saturday. He would have bought me snacks. Aww. So he would come with some yogurt, he'd come with biscuits, he'd come with
sometimes I'd carry my guitar.
Yeah, and then he would come with his guitar and sing. Now, along the way is when I started sensing, this one is not
a good man.
Yeah, not only that, but this guy is not singing for God.
What are you talking about?
This guy is serenading. What do they call it? Yeah, he's impressing me. Because one time, there's a time he sang this song by Guardian Angel. Unconditionally, be amazing. So I am so sure he's never agreed to it. But the day he sang that song, it wasn't the presence of God.
Really?
So I began to pick some little signs, but again he was really wise because we had become very good friends. So he really also didn't want to lose the friendship. Yeah. So along the way is when things now began to shift for us, especially on his side.
Yeah. So I'll just pick it up from what you say. I felt I was very ready for moving to the next phase of my life. And I had structured my life that after school, this is what I will do. If I want to get a job, the next thing I will do is get married and then have a family and then blah, blah, blah. And so when the time came, I went back to God. Yeah. So I told God, I feel I'm ready. Who should I marry? Yeah. Now that all these things have happened, I'm dealing with a breakup. Is it really this woman that I'm supposed to go and try get her back or what? So all those things were happening during this time, and then I went to her with that list. I said there were 5. I said I have these 5 that are under consideration.
5 ladies?
Yes, that are under consideration. They were my friends. They were just in my circle.
In your circle of friends.
Yes. So she looked at one and said, no, this one is a slay queen. This one can't help you. Yeah, she was looking at the photo. I was showing her the photos.
Yeah. Genuinely.
And then she said, this one looks like she's responsible. I think this one would make a good wife. These others, no. Yeah. So she picked actually one.
I was genuinely helping him for sure.
To get a wife.
Yes, because he was ready and I felt like, boy, poor guy. Your timing has come.
Yeah. At that point also, I think there was also a guy who was also pursuing her. At that time, yeah,
really,
just somewhere.
There was just one guy, looking at her, and there was,
clear. Yeah, there was someone I was seeing there that was trying to interfere with this friendship. So I was like, why am I starting to become jealous here and everything? Yeah. So that time came. I went to that girl. We concluded things. We decided that this one could not work. So I went back to God. I said, God, this one has happened. We have prayed about it. We have actually prayed to dismiss it and everything. So show me who I should marry. And then at that time we were living somewhere in Githurai, and we used to wake up at 3 with my good friend. He's called Peter. So I woke up that day to pray for just one thing. Yeah, God, show me. I am tired of these games that people play here. These text messages, you what I like you, I was tired. So that night after I prayed, I slept, God showed me a vision. And that's when I saw her. I actually saw her being brought wearing the wedding gown to me. I woke up and rebuked that dream. I said, God, it can't be. No, it can't be, because you see, she was not in my list. We had clear boundaries. So I rebuked, I prayed, I told God, no, it can't be her, because Lord, I don't even know how to begin. Our friendship has grown to a point where I don't want it to be compromised in any way. So I said for like 2 weeks and then prayed again. I told God, please show me.
Show me.
Yeah. This time round, I saw a vision, and I saw her wearing the wedding gown, and I saw an angel bring a golden ring. Yes. And I saw me putting a ring on her finger. Yes.
It's like,
I saw it, yes.
Son, you're not
yes.
listening.
Yeah.
It's her.
It's her.
Yeah. So after that dream now, I accepted it. She was my good friend. I liked her. Now I started to develop feelings.
Yeah.
So, but I asked God now, how is it going to be?
Yes.
Yeah. Tawezekanaje, like Mary said. How will this be? So one time we were doing the show. We were not even at the station at that time. I think we were working, and then I told her, "There's something God showed me."
No.
Yes, I just told her that there's something God showed me, but I will not tell you.
Oh.
Yeah. After some time, she insisted that I tell her the dream.
And actually, the reason why I told him to tell me is that one time I was leaving, as very spiritual meetup. So one time I was coming from Kesha, because normally every Friday would go for Keshas. So I had that dream, and I remember I shared with my friend. She's called Monica. I said I had this dream, and I was taking care of Tony's sister. And it was so awkward. And everything I saw of her, of the sister, I hadn't met her, we'd never even had conversations. But the day I met her, I knew it's her. That I actually asked him to show me a picture of his sister, so that I can actually affirm that what I saw is her. So I told my friend, I had this dream. And she said to me, hey, she actually just lamented and said, labda God anasema ni Tony, and maybe God is saying it's Tony.
Yeah.
So I said, really? Now, the interesting thing about my season is that, you remember I told you I wasn't ready. So when I came to your wedding, because your wedding was really pivotal for me to hearing God, I came, and we're actually here.
My wedding was here.
Yeah, so I came to your wedding, and I remember God making it so clear to me, saying, stop, Maria, it's time. Like, the way I had said, when it gets to a certain age is when I'll begin to beg God. So I felt God saying, it's time. And before that, my mom at some point said, Maria, I'm from church to pray that you get a husband. I remember telling my mom, that's not important right now. Stop. I told my mom, stop praying about that. So when I came to your wedding, that's when I had the Spirit of God saying, it's time. When I heard God say it's time, I remember I shared with a colleague at that point, said, I heard God clearly yesterday. When now it's the following day, I said, I heard God clearly yesterday tell me that it's my time. And that girl immediately, now the guy he's talking about, is that girl immediately swung into business, said, I know a guy. Let me introduce you. I said, okay, fine. No worries. Just going out on a date, fine. So she really, immediately, the guy responded, and the guy said to her, send me a picture of her. Immediately, now, Iyo Wiki, he came to even look for me. So now the reason why he talks about him is because he came so quickly at a time when God has already said it's time, and now he's already told me God has said something. So the reason why I gave him a go ahead to tell me the dream is because I knew what it was. Because he kept on saying, if I tell you this, it might change dynamics. And I knew what it was. And the time he told me, I wasn't ready to listen. So when God showed me these things is when I came back to him. One time when we're done doing the show, I said to him, tell me the dream. Now that's when he told me the dream. And then I think I shared what I saw with him a bit later. And that's when now we began to now really go into prayer and understand what God really is saying. But when he confided the dream to me, he said it, and I said, okay, fine, let me pray about it. And I remember he thought I will take forever, so he quickly followed it up with a text. So by the time nafika kwa nyumba, I found a text, and he said, as you pray about it, just know that I love you. Rolling my eyes.
Yeah.
That is the first time she went to spend the night in the church praying. Is it no? That is the first time she actually went to church. The earliest.
Because I used to go. I used to finish the show at 10.
Yeah.
So I could go to church for second service. But that morning, because of what he said, I had to wake up early and go intercede and hear God really. Because now this is something major, and I heard God say it's time. So I really don't want to make a mistake at this point.
Okay.
So when he followed it up with I just know as you're praying, I love you. So that's when I knew the guy is
He's serious.
no longer has a list.
The list disappeared.
Torn.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah. So we went and prayed. During that prayer session, we just agreed and said, now that we don't know what kind of policies we're dealing with here, this relationship cannot be revealed until the right time. So we will deny each other. Yes, we will deny each other. And it happened so many times in the office.
So many times
We
people
will
look
deny
at
each
you
other
and say,
and
there's something going on.
there's something. We said, no. This one is not even my type.
Yes.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes Theo will come and then find us together in the kitchen and say, Timo, and we'll say, no, it can't happen.
So many people would say things, and I think it's just how you hide things, but you also can't hide. So that was it. So that's how we started dating.
Now when did you now say I love you too?
I think when
there is God saying.
No, when he just began the work of pursuing me.
Yes.
So he did the pursuit, and then one time, I don't know, I think when we were just chatting, lost to me, or I can't even remember when, but I just remember one time he said, I love you, and I said, I love you too. Yeah, so that was just how it happened.
That's how it happened.
Yeah.
Then did you finally find out if it was legal or not?
No, but
I did. I remember when we were nearing we dated for a year and 1 month.
September, a year and
2 months.
A year and 2 months, and no one in that.
Yes, some people didn't even know.
Yeah, some
didn't
people
even have a clue.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most people were surprised.
When you dismissed it, I respected your. I was like, if they're dismissing, let me not also.
There's one person that saw a dream, Sharon. Sharon Naitore one day came to me and told me, Tony, I saw something. And then I asked her, what did you see? And then she said, I saw us going to Kitui to visit your mother with
Maria.
Yes. Because my mom stays in Kitui.
Yeah.
And then I said, that dream, I think that is Ndoto ya Ugali. At the back of my mind, I knew that this is true, that this will happen. Yeah. Because they were actually our best couple. Yes.
Yeah.
So
you went to find out if it's legal.
Yes, I went to find out whether it's legal.
Not really, babe.
I did.
Let me tell you, he didn't go to find out. What happened is we had decided we were getting married in September.
Yes.
So whatever happens, we really had to find a way, should one of us leave or not.
Yeah.
So what he went to find out was, this is happening, whether it's legal or not. So could you let us know, because we're getting married anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So it wasn't going to find out to tell. It was actually going to tell the boss, this is happening and we want to get married.
So I went actually to his office, Sir Henry Mahugo. I went to his office and then I told him that I have some news to break to you. Then I gave him the story that this is what happened, and then finally broke the news. He said, wow, that is great news. And then he clapped for me. He said, that is very okay. And then he was like, there's nothing wrong. I work for this organization. My wife is also working for the same organization. So really there's nothing bad here. It's only that maybe a conflict of interest can arise maybe when one of you is a supervisor of the other. So that was the only bottleneck that will be there, which was not the case. So he gave us the go-ahead. He's really supported us. And from then now we began to plan the wedding. But we had actually decided before I went to inform him that should anything happened and we're told that we could not stay in the same organization, one of us was ready to just go look for other opportunities outside. So we had made peace that will we survive with one salary for a while.
Yes.
I said yes, we could, because we didn't have children at that time.
Yeah.
So that is what happened, and we started to plan the wedding now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't attend their wedding. I felt really bad. I wasn't around.
You weren't.
Yeah.
But your contribution got to us.
Oh yeah. Thank you for telling them.
Yeah.
So, if you were to wed again, what would you change? We have now jumped to the wedding day.
I would change the.
Please don't
photography.
Say people. Oh. You know, some people
not
will say,
the photographer.
I will change my bridal team.
Not the photographer, but the photography venue. I would be more intentional on the photography bit of it, because I think we rushed it a bit too much, and then later on I don't have so much to remember. Because the pictures we rushed the whole process. We would have gone somewhere and just exclusively taken photos. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing I would change. Yeah.
JK Studios.
Yeah. I think I'll
when you get to 10 years.
Yes.
We can what do they call it? The vows.
The vows. Renew.
Renew the vows.
You can renew the vows. What would you change, Tony? The planning and the wedding day.
I think I will change the budget.
Oh.
Yeah. The budget, at some point I felt we spent a lot, and that money would have helped us elsewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my thinking all through, because I was asking her, hey, we had a budget of I think 700K. So that's 700K. If maybe we did something that was small, in-house,
you know, these are radio presenters.
Yeah.
Your fans are coming.
I know. So I was like, all this budget, this money would have helped us to do 1, 2, 3. So I think that is what I really would have changed. If we were to do a wedding again today, we'll just go for a very closed door ceremony and just have photos and have a budget of 10K. Just buy drinks. Yeah. Just buy drinks and bring the iPhones. Bring the iPhones.
See, iPhones are replacing you.
Yeah, bring the iPhones and then take the photos. Yeah, and have a good ceremony and then save 690,000. That money would have really helped us. We would have actually bought maybe a land somewhere and then, you see.
But you know, some of these experiences are the ones that give us the wisdom.
Exactly.
Yeah, now we can make better decisions.
But you see, if someone advised me then,
you would have listened.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Actually, we wanted to do if 1 million, I think, $1 million. And
then you also reminded us where you come from. You do things the big way.
Yeah, exactly.
You do things big way.
It's true.
We said we were doing by faith, and we got the amounts. We moved by faith. Actually, when we were starting to plan the wedding, she had 0 shillings in the account. I had 0 shillings in the account. We didn't have money. Yes, we didn't have money. And
that's not good to say for these big names.
No, we didn't have money at that point for the wedding. Yeah.
For the wedding.
Yes.
For the wedding.
So we took, I think, 4 weeks to plan. We planned it with 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, we planned the wedding in 4.
To 8 weeks. He likes to say 4.
No, it was 4.
It was 8 weeks.
The wedding happened in December.
Yeah.
Listen,
but for him, he had not.
The wedding started in December.
Weeks. It was 8
The wedding
weeks.
happened in December. November we went for ratio. October is when we announced the.
Actually, our traditional wedding was on like this Friday. Then next Saturday we were getting married.
7 days apart.
Yeah, they're 7 days apart.
So for people who didn't know, you guys were dating for a whole year. We were like, hey.
Yeah, I remember.
Because I have just known now, and the wedding is here. Oh,
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it
So many
happened
people
so
were
fast.
surprised.
there's so much that has been happening,
Yeah,
and we are
behind
not
the
aware.
scenes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now let's get married. Our first year. How can you describe it?
Wow. Our first year was very interesting because no sooner than, like literally we got into it, and a month later I got pregnant.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I remember.
so it was the first year of navigating a pregnancy and navigating marriage. And remember, this is someone that you are just friends with. Now you're getting to live with them.
Yes.
You're getting to understand their personalities. So when we were getting married, I wanted to wait a bit longer to
Before you get children.
But
did you do anything about it?
No, I didn't. I was just trusting
The Lord.
getting in by faith. And then my husband, on the other hand, he was ready. Said, "Why wait?" So I'm the one that was in charge of making sure we wait. You understand?
And you didn't do anything
I didn't
about
do
it.
anything about it. I just trusted God, and God did a miracle.
Yeah.
So I got pregnant, and so it was the first year of trying to understand the marriage, understanding my partner, him understanding me, and at the same time navigating a pregnancy. And where it was tough.
And you're still working
Yes.
Yeah.
at the same place.
Yes. Yes, at the same place.
So you can imagine when we're mad at each other,
And you're still going to
and
work
you're still
together.
going to
And
work
you have
together.
to smile, you have to do all
Yeah,
you have
and
to
people will come
put up the face.
to him and say, "Hey, Maria," or people will come to me and say, "Tony," and maybe that's the day you don't even want to hear
that
his name mentioned. So it was really hard navigating that. So our first year was not as easy.
It was actually a roller coaster for us because most of the lessons that I've learned in marriage, I learned them in the first year. Because it was a period of adjusting into so many things. Getting now to understand the real person.
Oh, yeah.
And again, there's a child on the way coming. You have to budget for that. You have to plan. Sometimes she's not feeling well. You have to scrub the back. You have to do this. You have to. There's so many things.
And even the person you are knowing is not Maria. It's pregnant. Pregnant Maria is different from Maria.
Exactly. Exactly. So imagine you have to deal with a series of emotions and feelings. And
Were you prepared for that?
Let me say, not really.
So you're
I was
the
not
one
really
who has
prepared.
been ready
but
for marriage.
I was ready for marriage, but I was not ready for I didn't know the things that.
The reality.
Yes, the reality. I didn't know the realities that I was going to meet there. That one I can't say that I know.
And premarital counseling also doesn't delve into these details.
Exactly.
Because they're also different for everyone.
Yes.
They're also different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was really tough for us the first year.
Hey, I think that is the year we disagreed the most.
We disagreed the most.
Yes.
We
were disagreeing on everything, almost everything. Every time is just a small thing, disagreement, a small thing, disagreement, argument.
And you still have to go to work.
You still have to go to work.
And imagine especially when I'm doing a show where I still also have to pray for people.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
But for me, that was what used to work for me. Like if I'm mad at my husband and you have to wake up, go pray for marriages, you just text him and tell me, Buddha, it's okay.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So it was really, we really fought about the small, the big, the medium. Everything was a hassle. And I think as we will keep on talking, you'll realize for us, especially the financial, that was our biggest fight.
Exactly,
we would
You were both working.
Yes, we were both working.
At this big Christian media house.
Yeah.
It was tough, especially I think the bringing together of the money, bringing together of our ideas. Because I mean, as he explained, he's choleric, very, and also I also have some control issues. Like I can really have ideas as well. So he would bring his ideas on the table. I would bring my ideas on the table. Everyone would feel like they're the ones that have been spoken to by God the most concerning their ideas. And so when they would come to the table, like just getting to prioritize, okay, yours make more sense than mine.
No.
This was our biggest fight.
Let me ask, is that, I don't know whose question this is, but I think Tony would answer it better. When you're having this disagreement, does she bring up the I'm older than you?
That one has never come up.
That one has never come up, right? No wonder I've never known.
It has never ever come up.
Surprisingly, when we're beginning to date, I'm the one that had issues with the whole older thing. And he actually went into research. This is my husband. He went and did his research and brought me a number of great men and women whose wives are older than. So I used to have an issue, and the day he settled that with that research of his is the day we forgot that one of us was older. And it's never, I think it's God, because it's never come up.
We don't even
think about it.
If she didn't say it, we would not even be talking about it.
Yeah.
So how does fighting look like? Silence.
My husband is silence.
When we disagree or when I get mad, mostly keep quiet. Something that she really doesn't want.
I hate
No
that.
one likes it.
Yeah, so she will come, hey, I'm talking to you, you're silent, you're not saying anything, and this and this and this, and then I'm telling
And the
her,
more she
please.
talks, the more you are quiet.
Yes, the more I'm quiet.
So it would really get confrontational to the place that one of us had to leave, mostly him. He always had to leave the house.
Where are you going?
I just go and walk, take a walk to ease that pressure.
I'll follow
Just
you.
take a walk.
Right?
Yeah.
No, at first I used to. Before I became serious with forgiveness.
Yes.
At first I'd bother him. Then secondly I'd be like, Yani, just stay even where you're at. And then I would and then I would stay again and be mad that he's not telling me where he's at. So I think most of the times I would be the confrontational one. I'd talk, and he's always silent.
One.
Yeah.
So how do we resolve this?
No, over time we've learned. Over time we've learned to look for middle ground.
Oh, yeah.
But now,
like
at that point, first of all, my husband used to struggle so much to say sorry. Oh, he struggled with
saying
this word.
sorry.
Yeah.
Saying sorry is not easy.
Surprisingly, I didn't. I never used to struggle with saying sorry.
Did you mean it?
Okay, I did mean it. I think I did mean it.
Those who just say sorry.
But sometimes you actually do it for the peace and the coexistence of. But I think my sorry comes out a bit easily. On that part, I'm really dealt with by
For
God.
my wife, when I say sorry, it's over.
Oh,
The conflict is over. It's finished completely.
But he
There's
used
nothing more to
struggle.
argue about.
Yes.
But I used to struggle to say sorry.
Yeah.
I will stay and stay and stay. But nowadays, when things happen, I say sorry even before, because I know that once you say sorry, she will just keep quiet.
Sorry.
And
You don't talk about it. Make sure it doesn't happen again.
No, we do, but not in a confrontational way.
Oh, yeah.
Like we did this. I prefer this to this. I prefer this to this, and that is how we solve our issues nowadays.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah, but at that point, so he would go, he wouldn't say sorry, and then he would come back. I remember there's a time I would cook and he wouldn't eat. And I would get so mad. I'd be like, "Oh, you've gone to eat at the restaurant.
We are still in the first year.
You've gone to eat at the restaurants. You're leaving me here. You can't eat my food." And I remember one day I had to put my foot down. I said, "No matter the disagreement in this house, if you don't eat my food, I will never cook." I actually said it because he would never eat, even if he's starving. He will just show me I've done nothing preparing that meal. So at that point I said, and I think at that point he got it. So even when we got mad, even when we were trying to get better at resolving issues, at least he would eat. Yes, he would.
And now he's eating.
Now he is.
I do. Even when we disagree, she will still serve. And she will serve and bring the food, and I will still eat.
Yeah. So the first year we didn't get quite to solve issues as much. So I think we graduated to the second year with the issues, because here is a baby now. We need to prepare for the baby. So we still had to somehow graduate with the problems to our second year, but then have the baby, still having the baby.
Because the baby changes everything. What did the baby change?
Yeah, the baby changed so much.
Changed so much, changed a lot.
That is Lerato.
Yes, Lerato.
The firstborn, right?
Yes, our firstborn. Should I go to the day of
delivery? You're the one who delivered.
I was there.
He wants to go there like he's the one who delivered.
I was there because I remember
the story. What do
the experience was, to me, it was not very, very nice. Because I went through a lot. It was during COVID time.
Oh, yes.
So people were not allowed into hospitals. Like a lot of people will not come. So you can't bring in your relatives that let us take so to hospital. To come and help. So I was alone with her.
Oh.
So I remember took her to hospital that day. I was supposed to do news at night on TV, but we just went for a normal checkup. She was due. She was, I think, remaining with like 3 or 4 weeks, but we just went for a normal checkup. So when we got to the hospital, we went for the scan, and the baby was very okay. Everything was fine. So, but when we went back to the doctor, the doctor got another report as our report.
From the sonographer.
Yes, from the sonographer. The sonographer sent a report of another patient. So that report was saying that the baby is seated in the womb. What was it? Breech. It was called breech, yes. So the doctor was concerned, said that this is 9-month pregnancy and the baby is sitting. No, it can't be like this. Let's go and do the scan again.
Yes.
So there was a lot of confusion there.
At some point, even the doctor said, I suspect these are twins.
Yes.
9th month.
Ninth month. So heavily, I really had a big pregnancy. And so the doctor said, this could be two babies. So because of the confusion, our doctor said, I'm going to admit her.
I'm going to admit her.
Because
This
a
baby
lot
cannot
happened,
stay here
so-
again. For another day or week. We're going to admit you.
Yeah.
So that is how we stayed in hospital that night, and she was induced.
In every way.
Yes.
Gosh, I got to the
No, they were trying everything.
like,
That is what
I got to, they normally say the final stage is the drip.
Yes.
Like I got to that final stage and I was not dilating.
I have a gift for your teen daughter. Sorry to interrupt the conversation. My name is Flora Kidula, and I present to you this book for my beautiful teen girl. It's a gift challenging the teen girl to have godly values. It talks about many issues that they go through and inspires them to be better teens. See details on the screen of how you can get it. Thank you.
It was
So she labored, I think, for more than 7 hours.
7 to 8.
7 to 8 hours
How
labored.
was she handling the pain?
Oh, I was in pain.
The pain was intense. But let me tell you, when we walked to the hospital, the day she was admitted, of course we were very hopeful that it will be normal delivery and everything. It will be quick, and so she was very happy. I remember she was very excited in that hospital room, and she was taking photos and ticking the menu. There's a very good menu that was brought there.
Yeah.
Chicken, I don't know what, some fruits there. So she would eat and eat and eat and eat and even dance, and will take videos in the ward. But after is it induction or inducing? Inducing.
Yeah.
After that procedure, things changed. So the happy, the joyous Maria was no longer the joyous Maria. So it was now pain, and I have to rub her back. I have to stay there.
And it's still not working. So what happened is, I remember they took me to another room so that they can see how quickly they can rush me to the labor room or ward. So every time with the drip now coming into my system, nothing is changing. So this nurse, actually, I had her talk to the doctor and say, hey, that woman, ule mama pale, please sort her. When you have a member, you're a mama. So help that woman, because I don't think she's getting help. And at some point now, the baby got into distress. And so the doctor said that we might be having a problem where the head is now beginning to swell. So he brought papers for him to sign. And I remember, I think out of courtesy, my husband walked out because he wanted to inform my parents. So he said, let me, 1 minute, 1 second, let me rush and talk to my mom. My mom said, hey, sign those papers like yesterday, because she stayed in that process for so long. And so he signed, and so I was rushed to CS. To theatre. So after that, quickly things happened, and really the child was in distress, because the minute the child came out, she pooped. So had they waited even a second, it would have gotten worse. So I think for me, that's where the whole journey began, because my husband caught on a bit later, because he's rushing with the baby, because now they're fixing me and trying to just make me back to who I was. So I go back to my room, and they bring the baby, and I remember my husband saying, "Hey, ndo mtoto." And you see is it the anesthesia? It's not even worn out. So I look at the baby like this, and I turn and say, said, she looks like your mom. And then I turned to this direction. And so his work began there, because now what I started developing was sort of like was low-key depression, because I'm a woman of faith, Rodah. So I was going the Hebrew.
I was called. You called me in that season. You were not happy.
Because as I knew I was going to go through the whole process like the Hebrew woman. I have been called by God to become. So I think I began to navigate the whole point of how did I bring forth through this CS and not. And now also my mom has 4 kids. My sister has 3 kids. All of them, they've gone, let me call it the Hebrew way. So I think now me trying to think, I knew for a fact I was going to become like them.
Yes.
So I think for me, I started now feeling
like you failed.
Feel like I failed.
Even with the baby there, okay,
Yes.
and you okay.
And I remember a nurse coming in and saying, you know, my child was 4 kgs.
Yeah.
I remember her saying, 4 kgs ulikuwa unataka kupush. Yani you wanted to
push,
you know, a whole 4 kgs. And so I think that was meant to heal me from her. But no, it didn't. So I said, I think I got some low-key depression. And my husband didn't know it. So in the house, we don't even have a house help. Because the one that I got didn't turn out to be as helpful. So she requested to be released because she couldn't handle a small child.
Yeah.
So my husband literally became the person that cooks in the morning, washes the baby's clothes before he leaves for work, and so leaves everything. But me, I'm left here. I stay in a dark room. I would never even put on the lights. I would stay in a dark room. I'd listen to that baby cry. I would try and cuddle her where I could, but then I could just feel like I'm not okay.
Yeah.
So one time I shared with my husband, I said, I think I have depression. And we started now fighting again. But all this is because it's coming from me, and he can't understand the season that I'm in. So he began to read about it. He said, oh my God. One time I remember him saying, oh my God, you know, I've read even mothers strangle their own kids because, you know, you just want to silence their problems. And so he started asking me, should I take an off day? Should I take a leave to stay with you? I said no, because at that point I didn't even want company. I wanted to stay alone and navigate this. So it was another whole season. I think it took me like 2 or 3 months to just go through the whole.
And imagine that is happening in the first year of marriage.
Yes.
And also, I on the other side, I'm also facing depression. Depression started on that very night that she got that child. Because the moment she was wheeled into the theater, I went back to the car to cry. Because I was like, what is happening? What is all this? A lot of things happen, and I'm alone. So it is 1 a.m. in the morning, there's no one to call. It was 1 a.m. in the morning, actually, isn't it? Yeah, so there was no one to call. So I was feeling a lot of pressure on me that I have to pray, I have to do this. I told God, we have been praying.
Yes.
I don't even know what to say right now. So I broke down and then wiped my tears. I went back to the ward. Yes, I asked. So I was following up. I was standing outside the theater. There was a waiting area there. So I was always asking the doctor. You told me, is it 45 minutes? 45 minutes. Is it done?
Yeah.
Where is she? Where's the baby and everything? So I kept following up. Akaniambia, mtoto ako sawa, ameshatoka. The baby is fine, so just wait a bit and then you will see the mother.
Yeah.
And you will also see the baby. So I stayed for another 30 minutes and I was not seeing the baby. I was not seeing the mother. I almost entered the theater. I asked them, where is the child? I want to see my child. That's when they said you will see a nurse passing here with the baby. So once I saw the nurse, so I ran to see the child, and then I held her. I prayed for her, prophesied, and then they took her to the nursery. And then I went back to the ward to now wait for her. So I kept pestering the doctors. Where is she? How is she? I just want to see her and that she's okay. So until now, they took me to the to the recovery room where she was at, and then I was able to speak to her. And then I called now the parents. I told the parents that the baby is fine and Maria is also fine. And then after that, now the journey began.
Parenting.
Cook in the morning, wash clothes, prepare everything before you go to work. Of course, there was that 2 weeks for paternity leave, but this was naisha haraka, so they ended. And now, so I used to wake up very early in the morning, prepare lunch for them, breakfast, and ensure that I come home early, so that in case they don't have anything to eat, I also prepare very quickly because she was really she's still healing. She could not do a lot of house chores. So it was a period of learning for me. And also bonding with the child. Sometimes she will cry at night, and I'm the only person.
The mother.
No, the child also, both. Of course, both. But the child, sometimes she will cry at night. The mother is also trying to get some sleep. And I have to hold her through the night. And I still have to prepare everything, and I still have to go to work. So you can imagine for all those.
Now, when this happens postpartum, when you talk about postpartum depression, we only focus on the mother. And we have a list of reasons why a mother can be depressed, from the delivery to the stress in the body. And it's easier for her to get help. Where does a man going through postpartum depression
Good question.
Get help. Who do you talk to?
Good question. Because as for me, I could only pray.
Oh.
I could only pray.
You know, because I would look at you and say, hey, be a man. She needs you.
Yeah.
And that needs to change.
Yeah, it does.
It does, because I went through a lot of stuff. And at the same time, you have pressure at work.
At work.
At that time, I'm working as a news editor.
You're a
Reporters
news
are calling
editor.
You, yes, they're telling you, where do we go? There's this story, you have to write this, you have to write the
And you're
headlines.
reading news.
And you're reading news at night.
At night.
Yes.
On TV where you can see your face.
On
Yeah.
TV. And after reading, you have to drive home very quickly so that you can get...
Yeah.
Oh.
And there are times when I'm going through that, anytime he would get in, I'll be like, take your baby. Like, where? I've struggled the whole
with
day.
all that
Pressure
fatigue,
from
pressure
work.
from work.
And I would sometimes I would see his face and be like, hey. And you know, now they have makeup. Now these
Oh,
news
yeah?
anchors of nowadays. So I would say, hey, Ata Maria, so you just wait for me to remove makeup.
then you give
and
me
I'll
the
be
baby.
like, it's like quickly. It's like he will even get the wet wipes on the table.
Yes, wipe
so
your face
wipe,
and take your baby.
Take your baby just for me to unwind. And he was really great. I mean, my husband, really kind man. He was really gracious the entire process until I got my hold back.
Yes.
But at the beginning, he never knew what I was going through. So he would look at it like I don't understand his schedule. But in my mind, I'm like, you think I'm just staying here with the baby?
The baby.
Yeah, there's more that I'm doing. There's more that I'm dealing with. So until we had the conversation, I would just be like, take your baby, take your baby.
But at some point, I also told her that I understood. And I just told her one day, let's go out. Yeah, let's just go out. Let me drive you to see around town. You stayed here for 3 months. You haven't even seen outside. Let's drive around town and go. So we drove. I think we took a very long drive.
Yeah.
Where's the baby?
With her.
We went to the baby.
Oh.
And it was during
Moving
COVID. There was
around.
lockdown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was
There
lockdown,
was
so you
lockdown.
can't even...
Yeah, so we just went through the town, and then went to a certain hotel, and then...
I think at that point, the going out is what began also to really get me out. And then I also think I started reading about it just to get information, because you know, information is power.
Yes.
And I remember at some point the Holy Spirit also ministered to me, because I remember I couldn't pray. Like it was so hard. I didn't know what to tell God. And then I used to feel guilty that, I've been so busy taking care of this pregnancy that I forgot to pray. So I used to ask God, where do I even pick it up with you from? And so one time as I was just cleaning the house, now when I'm healing even mentally, when I was just cleaning the house, I remember telling the Holy Spirit, I don't even know where to pray. Where are you to help me? And I remember him clearly saying, I'm right where I was at with you. And I think that conversation with the Holy Spirit also really made me pick up my momentum and realize, let me also help myself bind this mental thing that is trying to catch up with me. Because if I'm not careful, I'm going to live in that bubble forever. And so that is how also I began to get healing. And around the same time is when my husband realized, let's go out. Let's go look around. You don't have to walk so much. Let's go move around. And so that's how I got my healing. And at least that hurdle we were able to overcome. Yeah.
I think Pia, the COVID season affected.
Yeah.
Because normally people would come see the baby.
Oh, yes.
And when you talk to other people, you feel like a little...
Yeah. Because I remember I called you and we couldn't talk even as much because of my schedule with the baby. But you tried the most you could. Yeah, I remember I told you. Yeah.
Then, baby number 2 comes.
Now that one.
Baby number 2 came after 3 years.
After... Yeah.
3 years,
Yeah.
After 3 years.
Yeah. After, because there's a gap of 3 years. So baby number...
When we began, you wanted 5, she wanted 1. 2 is here.
2 actually. 2.
You wanted.
I looked for that one. I looked for that baby. Because now at this point I've made a resolve.
Yeah.
This one is not going to be satisfied with one child.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let me come back to the drawing table. Let me look. So I was those ones where I would have a kit. After every 2 days I'm saying, hey, this is it. Every time I would say, I feel like I'm pregnant. And then he would say, oh, no, I don't think so. So baby number 2, I really looked for her. After 3 years, I was pregnant, and I really was grateful to God.
You wanted that baby.
So the baby came, and I think along the pregnancy, we got into a wilderness.
Yeah, we got into a wilderness.
The marriage, you guys are still married.
Yeah.
With all this happening, you are supposed to remain married.
Yes. Now we got into a very tough wilderness. Remember, we've been fighting about finances. Now we got into a wilderness, literally, because my husband was supposed to get a job, and so he resigned. And it was really important. People may never understand this, but he really had to resign. So he was going somewhere else, and the door shut right in front of us. And so we got into a place where now he doesn't have a job. I'm the only employed person, and I'm pregnant.
The pregnant one is the one going to work.
Yes. So that one.
How do you navigate that?
Oh, wow, that baby.
We need both sides of the story, because we've heard of women who despise their husbands when they are jobless. Because she met you working.
Yes.
She has never known a Tony who doesn't have a job.
Wow, it was tough. Rodah, I think sometimes I think about
there's a baby.
Yes.
And there's another one on the way.
I think to this day, I remember that, and I tell my husband, give me some time. Like, I think sometimes I want to shed tears, because that pregnancy was a pregnancy. Like, it was the toughest season. At some point, you almost want to regret and say, maybe I should never have gotten pregnant. Remember, I looked for it.
This one.
Yes. So, you want to ask yourself that. And then, maturity at that point is, we've come a long way. We're not fighting as much. But at that point, maturity dictates that I have to also be there for my husband, because he's also trying his best. Like, I saw this man move heaven and earth, trying to see how he can make ends meet for us. And so there was no point, even if I blame him, there's nothing he can do, because we're all waiting for doors to open up, because we saw 2 doors shut right in front of us. And so I had to carry the pregnancy. I had to find a way to manage the marriage. I had to find a way together for us to manage our finances. In this case, my only salary to try and make ends meet. And I'm telling you, Rodah, I've never had a long year like that year.
It was the longest.
That was the longest.
Yeah,
it was
because it was really a tough season when those 2 doors shut in front of us, because we knew that those ones were sure bets that we were going to get these jobs. And actually, one of them, I had just been approached, and I was given the opportunity. And then, I don't know, there were a lot of things, politics here and there, and then things happened. So we had to quickly adjust our lifestyles in the first place. And my lifestyle in the Kuchu, I used to.
You were on a billboard.
I love to live.
The last time I saw you were on a billboard.
And people from Nyanza, they celebrated.
Yes.
So
I remember, I think I took a photo and even sent my husband. So, Tony.
Yeah. So that season ended.
It was
the toughest times. We were tried in every way, tested in every way, and I remember my wife now began to pay the rent. At the same time, she has to buy the diapers for the children, buy food and everything, and also she needs to take care of herself
and go to work.
So it was a lot. I saw the pressure that she was under, and at some point it also affected my well-being. Mental health is something that people need to take seriously. So mine was really affected during that period, because I was like, I'm not able to give my children this. I'm not able to provide for my wife, my family. I'm a firstborn, so my mother also depends on me. I have a small sister who depends on me also. I've been paying her fees and everything. And so all of them are looking at me.
At you.
And I have no income. The only money we have is
your wife's money.
Yes,
your money, but coming through her.
And
so it was,
and so I remember, even when it was time to go give birth, at this point I've already made peace with CS, by the way. I've realized you're a mother. You're still a mother.
And someone said all of them are normal deliveries. Just that one is vaginal and one is...
So at this point I've made peace. So I'm trying to even book for a doctor. And I remember because of the complication that happened to Gemma, my firstborn, I did not want to wait for the final week.
Yes.
So I told my husband, we have to go a week before, because this child, I was over and I was done being pregnant. Like, I just wanted now, let the child come, then we start believing God for other things, because I'm pregnant, I can't confront my husband. And that's when I knew you can actually control your hormones, these hormones that women have when they're pregnant, because he was so stressed, I couldn't put my stress on him as well. So I really was considerate. I remember sometimes I would have cravings that I couldn't afford, you know. It was so tough, Rodah, I'm telling you. Sometimes I think about it, I want to cry. And so we went and booked for hospital. And then at this point, we're waiting for his sister to come to us, because at this point I've also told the house help to go, because that's an expense. We can't
afford a house girl.
Yeah, so we had to.
So you are the one who stays home with
Gemma.
Yes.
And so think about it. So that by the time the sister is coming, younger sister, I'm already in hospital. So when I'm in hospital, my husband is with our first baby. So he had to leave hospital quickly. So I admitted myself in hospital.
You admitted yourself?
I did. I admitted myself in hospital. I remember this gracious woman, because now my husband was not around. You know, this woman said, "Hey, wacha nikusaidie, you know, the places where you're given some things to carry to your room." And so she said, "Let me help you." So I went to hospital. I admitted myself. I booked the room. I called my husband, said, "Now I'm in my room." And, so he said, "Us guys, we've gotten home. So we're waiting for my sister to come so that now he can come, because my scheduled CS is now the following day. So he has to find a way to come. And now if the sister does not...
if the baby does not want to stay with my sister, because she didn't really, they were not,
they're not familiar. So if Gemma decides no, I don't feel like, now my husband has to figure out
how.
So but I had so I had made peace with it. He doesn't know it, but I said in case he says Lerato has become problematic, I just have to go in and believe alone.
So it was also a stressful period for Lerato, because she had to adjust also very quickly into staying with a stranger. Because they were not familiar.
How old is she?
Two.
2.
Yeah, 2 years old.
Oh.
And now she's not seen my sister for like so many months. So she didn't really quite know her. But so I told my sister, come over. So my sister comes at 11 p.m. in the night. Gemma is already tired and sleeping. So she has to, so actually she was sleeping. So she has to wake up in the morning to a stranger. The stranger will give her food, give her everything. So I quickly prepared my sister, told her, this is how you prepare her things, this is how you prepare her and everything. I'd be out of this place by 6 in the morning. So when she wakes up, do this and this. So I woke up and then just left them sleeping and went to the hospital. So while in the hospital, I called them. Has the baby eaten? No, she has refused to eat. Has the baby done? No, she has refused. Has the baby done? She has refused. So I stayed there until she got the baby, our second born, at around 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yes. And then I left at around 6 to go, around 4 there to go check on Gemma and my sister.
Now I'm on CS. He has to leave.
But this time you have chosen CS.
Yes, I've chosen. So, I even actually said I'm never even going to try the other way.
And the labor.
I said, especially what I went through in that labor, I said never. So he has to leave. I'm left with the baby, and you have to pick your sacrifice. So I can't quite tell him I'm in pain. And he also can't tell me the problems he's facing with my other daughter. So all of us are trying to care for each other's emotions, because I know what Gemma can be a handful. And so it was such a balance. And actually, I remember before he left, I told him, I'm feeling some pain here, babe. Could you kindly pray with me? I need God to heal me. You remember? And so he came, held my hand and said, and made a prayer. And when he left. And I remember being left there with God. And I said, God, I have a wilderness here, and I have a wound here. I told God, from the bottom of my heart, I said, I can't handle both. God, you need to take one away. And I remember categorically telling God, take away the pain of the wound, because it's too much. And that night after he left, I even told him, an angel came in a vision, and he took my hand. I said, touch your tummy, and I touched my tummy. And I remember him saying, transfer the healing to someone else. I don't know who it was, but then whoever said get the healing and transfer it. So when I woke up in the morning, because I can be such a minister, I started asking myself, who is sick that needs healing? Then the Spirit of God quickly reminded me, you prayed. You said God to take away the pain. And so when I woke up that day, it was like I woke up a new person. Like it was a day or two after the siesta, but I was moving around. I could breastfeed my baby. Anytime Kara would wake up and cry, I would be there. So by the time he's coming back, he's even surprised that I'm okay. I'm the same person that he left. And so that's how my journey of healing came. I remember I was so healed. There's a friend of mine that came to see me 2 weeks after birth. I escorted that girl to the stop. Time ya Jama, I could not. I couldn't even stand up. But that time, and I remember telling that girl, I don't know why, but I feel like I gave birth like many years ago, but it's just barely 2 weeks. And she said, Maria, if you can walk me to the stop, the Lord really healed
There's
you.
A miracle
and that for me became a hold on point, like a point that I could hold on to and tell God, even this, what we're going through with my husband, it's going to pass.
Wow.
And
for
so
me, I get to the house and I find people tired. The child has not eaten the whole day. She's just lying there. So I entered the sitting room and then she just came running to me.
Oh,
and then she just held me like this. And then I carried her. I tried to play with her. You know, she's very playful. We are both playful. So we tried playing. She was not even playful. She was just tired, fatigued and everything. So we just went to bed. Then I asked, did she eat? No, she did not. Did she do this? No, she did not. So I just prayed for her. I thought she was sick. So I asked, what has she eaten? Has she eaten anything that is dangerous in the house? So I looked at where things are that could be dangerous, and I saw that they were high. Nobody touched them. So I just prayed for her. I didn't know that she was suffering from also mental
she's
and
disturbed.
fatigue. So after I prayed for her, we went to bed, and then she vomited. So she's vomiting and she's not eaten for the whole day. So I'm like, why is she vomiting? So I wanted to call her to tell her that I'm going to now to take Gemma to hospital.
No.
But I remembered what she's going through. Right now. I will just handle myself. So let me just pray for her. We sleep for like 2 hours and then see.
Where are people? Where are people in your life?
It was a desert, Rodah.
Wilderness. In the wilderness.
It was a desert.
In the wilderness, but we walked alone with God.
A good number of times we were by ourselves. Of course, I cannot say I wouldn't give credit to some people. Some people did show up, but honestly, I think it was those moments where it was just us and God. And so it got so tough at some point. Now I've given birth, it's a month later. And so I tell my husband, the way things are looking, I think we need to make a hard decision. Because now I've come back home, it's still the same struggle. And now my milk started getting lost. Now you know how much that powder costs. So I was telling my husband, if we go the direction of that powder, the naan, I don't know where is the money going to come from? Because those things, they consume a bottle a day, a week, you know. And so we had to call to ourselves into a meeting. And that, I think, was one of the hardest decisions we ever had to make, myself and him. And especially my husband. So we called our best couple, and we said the way it looks, and for the sake of Maria, especially not to lose milk, I have to go back to my parents.
Who?
Me.
Because the parents were here.
Our eyes are on you.
Yes.
It was
because
tough.
The parents, it was extremely difficult because now there's no house help. 2 babies. There's no money.
Yes.
And you're barely surviving. So we said we have to adjust further. So this adjusting father, while we were making the decisions, we were looking at do we go to my mom's place, which is very far because she still has to go to work.
Oh, yeah.
Or go to her mom's place.
Yeah. Wait, you're also going?
No.
Oh, you're the only one going.
Yeah. So,
what statement does that give us, the society, according to you?
Which statement?
For your wife going back home with 2 babies.
You see, of course, for a man, it's very difficult in the first place because that is not the societal norm.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to be like that. It is. If anything happens, she's supposed to go to my mom.
To your mom, yeah.
Yes, my mom. But now looking at the logistics, they don't work. So since her mom is just here in Nairobi, in the city, we said it is better to be in a nearer place, and we try to adjust, because now we were looking at it. Got to a point where we were looking at disposing some of the things that we had.
Oh yeah.
To be able to survive. Like we sold some of the things. We sold our cars.
Oh.
Yes, we sold so many things to be able to survive. And then also at her mom's, she will be taken care of better.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of there's a house help there, there's the people who will just take care of the baby and everything. So we decided just go for 2 or 3 months and then come back.
Yes.
You will have adjusted at least.
There are times in marriage and in life we have to make such decisions without caring what the society will think, right?
And mostly for the peace of her mind.
Yeah.
She was so disturbed. She was so disturbed until there was no milk for the baby.
Yeah.
That was extremely serious. So we just made that hard decision.
Yes.
So that day came, we just went together to the mother's place and I prayed for them and just left them there. I told them, I'll come for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go and adjust. Let me go and try to work out some things. I'll come for you. You just try to do this and this and then for like 3 months. Is it 3 months?
5.
Oh.
5. It was 5.
The plan was 3, but it went to 5.
The plan was 3, but it went to 5.
Wow.
Because at that point, we were also looking at a way to save our monies and see whether he would go to a neighboring country and find an opportunity. So we're trying everything we could. And that has to be one of the lowest moments for us in our marriage.
Because you're actually not together.
Because we're not together physically, and then he's the only person who I am entitled to say, take care of your child when she's crying.
Oh yeah.
But now I'm in a place where, as much as they love me, my parents really love me, like they're not obligated in any way. So it was such a low moment, and I remember I even wrote to him a note as I left. And I said, may God just bring us back quickly. But this is needed for the peace of our mind, of my mind. But I know I'm going to heal faster.
Yeah.
And so we went, and it became a whole journey right there. And Kara now. Gemma was good. Lerato was good in terms of at night sleeping. Kara would give me
the night was her day.
My God. So I remember just carrying that, and at some point I would get offended because in my head I'm thinking, where is he? But I also understand. We're supposed to be together in this. So sometimes he would call me during the day. I can't answer because I'm sleeping, and so that also in a way brought a different kind of rhythm. And there's needed a lot of assurances. Like he has to say, babe, I'll come get you guys, and I have to say, babe, I'm still committed to this marriage. So it was such a roller coaster, but in a way I got the healing mentally. And after 5 months is when we regained a bit of stability. He hadn't yet gotten an opportunity, but I regained stability because there was a lot of savings that were made and done. So to the point that after 5 months, we said, now
we are good to go.
Now we are good to go. By the time I'm going back, Kara is a whole baby. But I mean, give it to him. He would come over the weekends and see the babies. He would just sneak, because you see, as you said, society. Even my parents, they're still society. So he can't show up during the week when they're there. He would time for them when they've gone to church, or when he's, when they're not around, where are they? And then he would come and take Gemma, take her out, maybe for swimming and stuff like that. So he really tried to be intentional, but it was really tough because this was a moment apart for people who are never meant to stay apart.
Yeah.
And so it was really a trying moment. But, babe, we navigated.
We did.
Imagine you
We
made
did.
it.
We did.
We made it.
We went through the waters.
We did.
Yeah.
It was tough, Rodah.
It was tough, but we finally came back together. And by the time we were also coming back together, we found that there was an account that money was going, her money, but she didn't know that money was accumulating there.
Oh,
So we just discovered it. That there's money in this account.
We found out she's pregnant again.
No.
That second pregnancy, we were even rethinking our decisions. I think he stopped the 5 babies stories there. We were rethinking.
You still want 5 children?
Before when I was during that time of unemployment, I rethought, as she said. But now, yes, still, I'm open to that. Yeah, I'm open to that.
Yeah.
My quiver is not yet full.
Quiver is not yet full.
My quiver is not yet full.
Yeah,
So
but God really reunited us back together.
So, actually,
and I think the separation also made us understand how much we want this. That moment, as much as it was unplanned, trust me, when we came back together, we now, my husband used to say, he always says this ever since we got married, he says, we are a team. The enemy is the devil.
Yes.
I'm not the enemy, you're not the enemy. So anytime we are fighting, can we not fight each other? Let's realize, and I think at that point the message really sank, and I realized we actually
are a team.
And finally the Lord restored us.
So
He
fast
did
forward
restore
when
the things
I
that
came
even,
back,
the things that we even had sold.
2 or 3 months later, he got a job, and God really did answer our prayers. But it was a tough. I think that was the test for us.
If you were, what's the question? When you were thinking about we are getting married, when you were dating, this was not part of your vision.
Again,
Never.
No.
It was never. We had figured out and planned our lives and in the way we wanted it to go. We had said that this is where we will go and build, this is where we will go and buy this and this and this. Our children will go to this school. We had everything figured out. Actually, we have a notebook that we've been writing since the time we were dating. That notebook is still there. All the plans are there. But this season was not there. This wilderness was not there. So it came and we had to make very drastic decisions. And I understood, at this point I understand other people when they have to make drastic decisions for their families and everything. Because you see, it gets to a point where there's nothing else. You just have to make the decision. Because if you don't, there's so many people who are going to suffer.
Especially children.
Especially
children.
When we were dating and at the early stages of marriage, Tony would say, what's, whose money, the husband's money, who does it belong to? And I would joke and say, us. And then it'd say, the wife's money, who does it belong to? I say, me. Mine. Now, God took me through a season where my money, I don't even know whose money is money. And for me, I had to just make the biggest contribution in that season. And I understood his joke. It was coming from a place of a joke, but we lived it. So be careful the jokes your husband makes.
But now after I got a job, I told her to relax her money.
I'm actually living my best life right now.
Relax your money. Let me take care of everything. Because she stood for us, for all of us, while I was not there.
We have many other stories that don't make sense.
She had all the reasons to actually leave me.
Did you have a reason to leave him?
She had all the reasons. No, I mean.
In the world standard.
Yes, in all the standard. I mean, I don't have a job. I'm not providing. I'm not like I'm not there.
I'm even in my mother's house.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
She had a reason to even never come back. But she still chose
to
come back, bring the team together, put the band together. And we are now.
You guys are still big names. Maria is actually, you can listen to Maria every morning. She's on leave now. But start January there. But if you are a fan of Hope FM, she's there every morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. praying. This season, you're in the wilderness and you're supposed to still pray for other people. Because there you pray for other people. How do you manage?
It was really a test for me. And it was a test. As I said, I decided to look at it as a wilderness. A season God gets you through to grow you. And I got to a place my husband could actually attest to this, and I would tell him, let's not complain. I'd tell him, let's endure this season without complaints. Let's not murmur, because there's a place God is taking us. Now, me going back to my mom's place, and I always tell him, was really pivotal for me, because you see, my mom is a pastor. So every morning at 3, I would hear my mom wake up to pray. And I'm at my lowest. I'm like, my husband, where is he? What is he doing? Like, I'm here with the kids. Yeah. And so I would hear my mom pray. And in a way, she was used to jumpstart me again. Because I remember I told my husband, why this wilderness, it looks like I'm falling apart even in faith. And so in that season, when my mom would pray, I would wake up and just start mumbling in tongues. And I would speak in tongues, and I would feel my spirit come alive. And so by the time I'm going back to work, I felt like I had been prayed over. And my husband, when I told him where I'm going to begin a prayer show, he started now covering me, because he knew if I'm going with my frail self and with this wilderness that is in my mind, I'm not going to make it. But then I also decided to look at it as a test. I mean, when Akinya John the Baptist, when Akinya Elijah were going through this wilderness moments, what did they cease from doing God's work? No, they didn't. So I said, even me, I need to make myself a general in God's army through this wilderness. So I remember I started calling my husband to tell him, let's encourage ourselves. Let's begin to give thanks to God. The job is coming. The things that, and when I would energize myself and recharge myself and have faith, then I got faith to also pray for other people. And I remember I said, I'm going to pray for other people and carry that as my sacrifice to God now, interceding for my husband and my family so that we can come and be united again. So that is what carried me in that season.
What carried you?
I am a man of prayer.
Yes, that one I agree.
Yes, I really, really pray over everything. And so when they went back to their mother's house, I shifted to a smaller house, because now to just minimize the cost. So I shifted to the smaller house, and then I locked myself in, because I had nowhere to go.
That is dangerous.
I locked myself in, yes, and began a series of prayer. Just praying, because sometimes I will just take the phone, try to call people, but sometimes they will not be of much help at that point.
And then you can't call every week.
And you can't call every week, So I said, here, I just have to continue praying. So sometimes we'll speak on phone, encourage each other in the Lord that things will be better, pray for each other and everything. Then there's this day that while I was there, the Lord spoke to me and told me, you have to pray for 3 days. And I will tell you how to pray. So I even called her and told her that God has told me to fast for 3 days, because there's something coming on the way. And we have to contend for it and pray over it. So for 3 days, I fasted and prayed, and I used to pray every, the cardinal points, 12, 9, 6, and 3. So every 12, every 3, every 6, doesn't matter, it is night or day, that whole hour I would be praying. So I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. It was so taxing, but I did it. By the time we were getting to the 3rd day, God opened a door that I never imagined would open. And my wife received money. She just received something. A windfall just came. And she told me, I have received a windfall that I never even imagined that I would ever receive. That is the money that got us back together.
Actually, that's how we came together.
That is how we came
because it was at that point I received a very big amount of money. And then that's when I realized that there was some savings that was also going to another account.
That she was not aware.
That I wasn't aware. And actually the person in that account called me, said, do you realize you have money in account ABCD? And that's when, now immediately
from my employer.
From my employer. So he actually then when I told him about it, then immediately after because he was doing prayer and fasting, the 3 days, that's when the doors opened, and now we began to say, now this is it. I actually told my mom, now in 2 weeks I'm going back. Yeah, and that's how we came together. But honestly, I don't know how to stress this, but just being positive even through a wilderness with your partner. Like my husband would call me and preach to me. Like then when he's done, I would call and we would preach and preach to him, and we would preach to each other, and we would just encourage each other and would remind ourselves where we came from, and it is God who ordained this. And so when we're going through the whole wilderness, it was a wilderness that we used to speak over and know that this is we're going to come back. And one time I remember my husband came to see my daughter Lerato, and she didn't want to let him go. Like I looked at that, I was in so much pain, I was in so much anguish. I said, oh my God, look at what I'm depriving. At some point you even want to blame yourself. Look at what I'm depriving my daughter. But around the same time is when now the doors just flung open, and now we came together, and now we began to rebuild.
This was all God.
Now looking back,
because I'm thinking I have my pay slip. I know where the money goes. Why didn't you notice until this point?
So literally when we looked back, and that's why I kept on telling my husband, I know the hand of God is in this situation. My husband said, yes, God never wastes a wilderness moment. There's something we needed to know. There's something we need to understand,
to learn.
And I'm telling you, from that point to this day, we've never fought about money.
We haven't.
Because that was our biggest fight. I remember our best couple one day, Jude, saying, nyinyi mko aje? Mkiwa pesa ikiwa mingi mko na shida. Pesa ikiwa kidogo mko na shida. So I think like that was our biggest hurdle to cross. And we learned it the very hard way that I don't think I would want anyone else
to go through.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that wilderness moment for us was never wasted. We have learned lessons that are valuable, lessons that will also
and it actually kind of brought you together.
It did.
Yeah. We are now more closer than even
we are now a team.
We are like our money is now our money.
Our money is now our money. We use it.
His ideas are also ideas.
Exactly.
They are. I saw mine.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true. Like now we actually take each other's words financially seriously.
Wow, we thank our God who restores. Wow, being faithful even in the wilderness. Thank you for sharing that. Now we go back to, you guys are still married. So even in this, you have remained married. What would you tell someone who is just about to get married? What would you tell them is the key to a healthy marriage?
Wow.
After your experience.
Should I go first?
Just go first, fine.
So I would say, honestly, for us, the fear of God.
The fear of God.
Because one of the reasons why I never despised my husband, I never talked down on him, is because I fear God. Like I had every reason to say what the world says about men that cannot provide. So I'd say one of the ingredients, the key ingredients when it comes to marriage, is the fear of God. The second ingredient that I found came in handy for us is because we're both very prayerful people. So my husband and I are very interested. So there are times I will have a dream, he will see the end of it. There are times he tells me, I saw this, and I tell him, I also saw this. So we're very much in sync because we are really prayerful people. And so one of the things that really held us down is we pray for each other, and we generally take communication and intel from God. And so for me, fear of God and prayer, being prayerful, but also if there are things you can avoid. Like, you see, for me, I feel like there's never a wasted wilderness, but had we agreed from onset about certain things, maybe this would have been averted. So I'm like, agree quickly. When we're getting married, a certain couple told us, live as if you know Jesus is coming back soon. So when you disagree, know that Jesus can come at night. And sometimes my husband makes fun of it and says, hey, people really like to say Jesus is coming soon. He is. So, so we live as if, what if he comes today? And we're in a disagreement. Do you know that's the end for us? And so at that point when she said it, it looked funny. It looked like, we're spiritualizing now, you know.
Yeah.
But later on, we've come to realize if you can learn some certain things quickly and forgive each other quickly, invest even in financial classes quickly earlier on, so that you don't make some ideas he brought to the table, I brought to the table were viable, but they're not supposed to be invested in at that point. So had we gone to classes quickly, we wouldn't be in that position. So for me, I'd say what you can learn quickly, please learn quickly.
Parenting, you're learning quickly.
That's true. That's true.
The key to a healthy
to a healthy marriage, let me speak first to men out there. Love your family. You have to love your people. These are the people that God has given you. That no matter what happens, love your family. Keep them close. Because for me, I had to keep these people very close to me. Because it is very easy for a man to think otherwise. And say, let me go and look for someone else.
But you were alone for 5 months.
Yes, I was alone. Let me go and look for someone else and try to do some things, crazy things. You can choose to do that. But you have to be very principled. So love comes first. Love is the greatest.
Love your people.
It's the greatest. It will take you through situations that you never imagined you would survive. Because for us, this period, that season, that wilderness and everything has been sustained by what my wife has said, prayer and everything, the fear of God. But also loving each other, loving your people, just wanting that family to come together. That that consists of a healthy marriage. The other thing is communication. Communicate, talk regularly, because we were apart for 5 months, but we used to speak. Yes, we used to call each other for hours. You would buy minutes, I would buy minutes, and then
it was like we're back to dating.
It's like we're back to dating.
Which many couples need to do.
I need to do that. So we will preach to each other. Sometimes we will pray, and sometimes actually those sermons will be very powerful and very insightful. And sometimes we will finish, and she will say, let me just go and write. Let me just go and write everything that we have just talked about, the revelations I have received and everything. Of course, I'm not saying that you should just talk spiritual things with your wife, but just communicate. Let the other person know what you're going through, how your day is. These small things. Let each other be kept abreast of everything that is happening. I think that will can minimize conflicts that arise, because sometimes we conflict with each other because we do not have information. It's because we did not communicate. It has happened to us so many times. Sometimes my wife will go through things, and then maybe sometimes she will confront me, and then I will ask her, did you ask me? Did you share this information? But you never told me that this is what you were doing. You never communicated. And you see, if she communicated, then there will be no conflict. So at least I think that communication is missing in so many marriages. So very many marriages. We communicate even financially. How much money do you have in your MPESA? You have hidden money. You have hidden money. I don't know in which account. So how much do you have here? How much do you have here? I think it is important.
Your PIN?
What's your PIN? Like she knows my PIN. She has my ATM. She can go to the bank and withdraw any amount of money she wants. I have her PIN. At some point, I used to work with her ATM. I used to work with it. Anytime I want to eat some pizza, I will just eat. But I will, of course, ask her. I will tell her that this is how I'm feeling, and I feel I should take some juice here and here. And she will say, that's fine. That's okay. So I think that communication, that honesty in marriages will keep so many marriages standing. Kuficha mambo and going through cutting corners in marriage is very.
Well, they say whatever you keep secret is what will break you.
Yes, because one day it will come out. Even if it's after 30 years,
it will come out. And people still break up after 30 years.
People still break up after 30.
And I think also learning to know your partner's qualities and character. Because you see, around that time, there are obviously friends who knew I was at my mom's place. And I remember some would call and say, how sure are you?
Really?
I know. And I would stand here easily and defend my husband's integrity. Like, this man is full of integrity. So I would tell my friends, Not my Tony.
Maybe
not,
me. You should be scared about that.
I would say not Tony.
Yeah.
The women.
I know.
That's
me,
not him. And so just knowing your partner so that even if you're told this is happening, you can defend their integrity because you've seen them serve God faithfully. And so for me, I knew there are things I can't worry about.
Yeah,
and those are some of the qualities of my husband. And so we've really risen through so much together.
Yeah,
and
in such a short time, you guys talk like you've been married for 30 years.
Yes.
What's the truth about sex in marriage? There's things we were told when we were single, now you are there. Is it what you expected?
I think it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. What people see or what people are told on the outside sometimes is not what you find.
Yeah.
Because marriage has got its own dynamics. And sometimes you will be together, sometimes you will not be together. Yeah. Sometimes someone will move out of the country.
Sometimes you'll be together and not together.
Sometimes you are together on that bed, but you are not together. There's no, someone is in a different mood.
Yeah.
So, let me say, sex in marriage is something that people need to agree about in the first place. Because as for us, we agreed that this period should not pass before this happens or this and this and this. Yeah, just to intentionality so that you
no, we don't have a timetable.
No, we that timetable has been violated lately, but God is helping.
We don't. It's just been intentional.
You see, for example,
especially, let me say what he's trying to say in many words.
Yeah.
When the babies came, there was a different
another wilderness.
Yeah.
That is where I was going to.
So
that is where I was going to.
I think after the babies come, you just have to be very intentional, and you just have to Katiana again.
As women, we can be busy with our babies.
Oh, I'm telling you. So
we can be busy.
I think sex for us, we got to a place where we had a conversation. We said we have to be intentional about it. Yeah,
we are intentional about it. That is true. But there's a timetable that was there for us. It used to be there.
She broke it. She tore it.
Yeah. But
sometimes these timetables come with so much pressure.
Yeah, it's too much pressure.
Because for the man, it's like, oh, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will come home with it. You're in a very high mood. You're just ready for everything.
Yeah.
And then the other person is like, I'm tired.
And then let me also tell you, with my work schedule now, like I used to be those women who would not imagine how do people have sex during the day. You understand? Like I was those people. I used to be those women.
Anywhere.
Now I understand because at night I'm working.
Something that I know the people, they won't kill me. They leave. You see now it's like 10 a.m. They leave with their car and go.
Oh.
Yes.
And leave the children and whoever is home. And everyone knows they're going to work. Of course they're working. You have to be that intentional.
Yeah, I think you have to be.
It can happen during the day.
So my dynamics had to change and I had to be open and flexible. So now anytime can be anytime.
It's tea time.
Yeah.
So you just adjust. Yeah. Just adjust to your
and
schedules.
Big up to him.
And the things that
adjusting.
Yeah, and the things that come through.
Yeah.
You adjust with the things, times and seasons and everything. And you don't get mad at the other partner because the other partner has said they're not ready. You don't get mad. As in, you have that person there.
Yeah.
That person is in the house. You've married that person for life. So there's no need nowadays. We don't put feelings. If she's not in the mood, I wait.
Okay,
yeah. If I'm not in the mood, she has to wait until we are
Why
ready.
Are you laughing? Have you ever not been in the mood?
I'm
just. What is it called in?
He's always in the mood.
Okay, let me not go there. But basically, as in, nobody should get angry over the other person because the other person has left home quickly without serving the
delicacies.
Well, we have to end there. Thank you so much, guys, for being vulnerable. We can only impact by being real.
Oh, yeah.
We can only impact by being real. And those are the realities of marriage. Our goal is to stay married.
Oh, yes.
And to keep God in our marriage no matter what. That is a perfect example that we've had today. Thank you so much. This calendar belongs to you. It's 50 days of prayer for my marriage. I hope you guys have bought these calendars. It's Christmas season. So when you go home, make sure the people who are married are gifted with this calendar. So you keep it on your bedside. They wake up and make a prayer. Every day you are reminded, let me make a prayer for my marriage. So when you purchase this calendar, you are supporting the production of this show, and we are hoping to bring more guests, more couples, because their marriage is working. Married people are thriving. Before I forget and put in my handbag.
Thank
and
you.
Remember, your gift is here. If you forget,
we will carry
I will not remind you.
We will carry it. This one we can't forget.
Thank you guys for watching. Their handles are on the screen. You have an event coming up.
Oh yes, I do. On the 7th of December, 7th
Oh,
and
December.
8th.
It will air before.
It's actually going to be on our anniversary.
Oh.
Yes, our anniversary, 7th and 8th.
What is it about? Let's invite our people.
Oh, it is normally we have an annual meeting we normally do with my husband. It's called Wisdom Experience. So it's majorly where we come together, worship and share the word of God.
Okay.
So just being timely and seasonal with what God is saying. So this theme for this year is the kingdom first. So
Fasting.
Fast. The kingdom first.
Yes,
Seek ye
fast.
first the
Seek ye
kingdom.
first. Yes.
Yeah, the kingdom first. And so we'd like for you to join us. It's going to be somewhere along the CBD, Tao,
Nairobi
CBD. So we're going to communicate the venue. But right now, there's a form that people are filling just for us to get logistics.
Check the comments. I'll place the form in the comments of this video. Share it as well. Follow them on social media. Their handles are also in the description and on the comments so that you know what's happening. And listen to Maria.
Oh, please do. Please.
Yes.
She's doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
It's never in vain to pray for God's people, to serve God's people,
Amen.
to serve God. Thank you, guys. I love you. Thank you for the support. Remember to subscribe as well. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.